Welcome. You are at the CCC.
Where there are no outside issues. My name is Anthony. I'm an addict and an alcoholic, another bozo on the bus, and I care about you.
And I'm LouiLou, or Louis, and my pronouns are he and him. And I am in recovery for crystal meth and alcohol, and I am always in church of balance.
And my name is Jordan, always a third wheel to this relationship.
Yeah, I almost forgot you were at the table.
I know.
Go
And
ahead.
each week we strive to foster a brave space where we can engage in conversation centered around topics of recovery.
And our intention is to hold and inspire better spaces for more people in recovery by tackling issues sometimes used to separate us.
But for the people who are not listening in the room, please like, share, subscribe.
Ding that bell.
Absolutely. Ding the bell.
Ding the bell.
Join us.
And now the disclaimer. The thoughts and opinions expressed on at the CCC are as alone. We do not represent anyone but ourselves. In other words, we're just a couple of friends behind a mic here to entertain you. And of course, everything we talk about is for general information purposes only.
You know what? Actually, so there's some people in meetings sometimes that do that.
Do what?
Where they'll instead, they're supposed to be reading the reading, but they've obviously memorized it, so they stare out front and they look like serial killers doing it. I'm all, and so every time you do that, I'm all.
Well, first of all, we've been recording for 5 years, and he still has to read from a script.
And I am going to read from this script as long as I need to, okay?
As long as you can read, yeah.
I do not have problems with helpers.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
Okay?
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
This is where we're starting. So we are at Western Roundup Living Sober. Yay! We are recording live from the conference. What number conference are we on? Someone? The 50. Oh, DK, were you raising your hand? Oh. So we are at the 50th anniversary of the Western Roundup Living Sober Conference. For those listening at home, Western Roundup Living Sober is the longest running LGBT plus conference in the country. I think that deserves a round of applause. Welcome.
And it is important to note, you see the excitement of the folks who are joining us. The first year that we did this, we were not certain because it was like, is this going to go against traditions and what have you?
That never came across my mind.
And of course they came in and, we like to talk. They're all, traditions? What?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just want to say that.
Story time with Louis.
Absolutely.
Great.
So there are a couple of things. Well, first what we want to do is we want to say thank you for everyone being here and thank you to our listeners. I recently did a check on our stats, and are you excited for this?
No, I'm excited because you're excited.
Yeah.
Because this one's always
All right. So we grew by 120% coming into this year. We're listened to. Thank you. Yeah, we're listened to by over 900 cities in the United States.
Absolutely.
And we have listenership in over 68 countries. So we've grown a lot. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So we've grown a significant amount over the last couple of years, and it's thanks to people in this room.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So how are you guys?
Good. Great.
All right.
I am.
It's because he knows I don't listen.
I'm excited. I mean,
Short,
I'm
sweet,
actually
to the
here
point.
because I got COVID last year. They were so nice. I remember listening to it, and he didn't want to say it out loud because I guess it was still kind of whatever. But I
want to say it because it was none of my business. I didn't want to tell people
know
Louis
what?
is at home with COVID.
That's not true. But
No,
okay.
honestly,
Did I say
it's
it?
like whatever. It's like I'm all, if I have secrets, it will not pass my lips. Once it passes my lips, you do what you want with it. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
I can see how this is going to go. But that's okay because it's like, as long as you show up like that, I will not look like a bully later.
Exactly. Anywho, what is today's topic?
All right.
Can we go?
Yeah, so today's topic is unpredictability. So that's why we took... so today's topic is unpredictability, and we had a bunch of you write things in the box because we wanted this to feel kind of unpredictable.
A community conversation that we want you to be a part of because it would be fun to watch us record, but we want you to join in.
He's still talking. I'm just fucking with you. Okay. So this is a little like I have access to your mute.
I don't know if you guys caught any. We have some episodes specifically on harm reduction apps, and you can always tell when the banter back and forth is not jokes.
Okay.
No, but I absolutely adore you, and that's why I am okay with sometimes you are unpredictable.
Okay.
That's great.
That was that
good.
a read?
Smooth.
Did
I like that one. That was great.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
Yeah. Okay, there's a bunch in here, and I already don't like a couple of them. That's not true. That's not true. I'm just saying things for the joke.
Wow.
I love all of them, even the ones I haven't read.
We should just grab one.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I should. I know it's supposed to be unpredictable.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is the Well, I'm not. I'm an alcoholic and an addict.
One's not enough.
What's that?
I think when we leave here, go ahead.
Jordan, what was that?
Oh, this is a long one. How do you bring your higher power into sexual situations, i.e., app hookups with strangers?
Okay, that's crazy because this one is dating, hookups, sex apps, navigating apps and sobriety.
Oh my God.
So this is like a twofer.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this is something that people are thinking about. So the mic is open if anyone wants to like come join the
Elaborate. Yeah,
or
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. So
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, well, how do you do it?
So no.
Okay, wait. Here's a side note. When he's on the podcast and there's silence and it's just one of us talking, he's normally on one of the apps.
That's true.
That is not true.
It's normally on one of the apps. I know what
not
his
true.
Pornhub tabs are because go ahead. So and the podcast just got better.
This is an opportunity
All right, go ahead.
to kind of shit all over Lewis, huh? Okay, that's okay. I don't mind. No, very simply, and this is something that has come over time because I think all of us know it's like we come into the program, the relationship we have with a higher power, if we have one, is sometimes there is no relationship or it's stressful. Don't do that. Okay.
Because we couldn't hear him.
I finally got to a place where I had this relationship with a higher power, and over years I've built with it. So I bring my higher power into everything. I bring God into everything. So it is not a surprise when I'm on the apps, when I'm doing other stuff, because it's like I like the idea that I don't have to make these decisions by myself. Now, mind you, I mean, it sounds all crazy but the relationship I have with my higher power, I talk to my higher power like I talk to friends. And so this means that I become present. I will have that conversation before I walk into situations. And, I think the pause is a gift. It's an absolute gift. And so, do you talk to them while the hookups my higher power is usually holding the camera, okay?
So that's what my sponsor says. My sponsor says that we can include God in everything. And
Absolutely.
So if you have a hookup in the room,
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I'm building.
So if you am I going to get a word in?
No, because I'm not liking you right now.
My sponsor says, for example, if you have a hookup, you invite God to sit in the room with you.
Yeah.
Right? Or you pray before and you pray after. What I wanted to say is that what's interesting about so first off, I don't have such a sober approach to being on apps. So I'm not on any apps currently because I'm also in another program and I'm in Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. And part of that for me is I can't be on an app without wasting hours on that app, right? There have been plenty of times where I'm like, all right, I'm only going to stay on for 15 minutes. And then it's 1 a.m., and then nothing good happens after 12, as my sponsor says, it's always a little shady. You know what I mean? They don't look like their pictures or they're on something. They steal something. So my relationship to apps is such that I know at this point in my life, they're not something that I can do soberly.
I guess the question I have for you, because we're speaking on terms of these sexual apps or whatever, but isn't this for all the apps because it's social media. It's
Yeah.
the larger picture.
Like
because
technology.
I can get lost in TikTok. I can get lost in other things. I can use it as a way of checking out. And one of the things, I don't know if any of you remember, one of our co-hosts, Bonnie Violet, she used to always talk about grace. And so I give myself grace because sometimes I don't do it perfectly. And I don't need to do it perfectly. I just need to be aware when I'm getting a little squirrely and then pull back.
Yeah. I would say also too is trying other things, right? Outside of apps.
Like,
but
what, Jordan?
Like, I don't know, gay dodgeball, gay kickball, ceramics, like doing other
Does it
like,
have to be
ceramics?
ceramics.
Girl, the transition from Jordan's suggestion was get off sex apps and get into pottery.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Work.
Your apartment will look way better with my pots and pans. You're welcome.
And so I think like grounding this, so like we aren't just talking about apps, right? What we're talking about is like escaping. We're talking about like getting a dopamine hit, right? Like that's just what that's about. And that's why we can get addicted to technology. And the thing is that technology, including apps, are designed to be addictive, right? There's a thing called an interval reward system, right? That's how gambling works. Things become more exciting when they're unpredictable. So that's why it's very easy to be on an app because it's essentially like gambling, except like
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Somebody responded to me, and all it is one of those stupid ads.
Yeah. Or it's like a spammer. It's like someone in Russia. Right. That's never happened. Just me?
No, it's a Nigerian prince. You send me $500 and I'll get you 10 million. I'm all, okay.
Yeah. So that's an important thing to note is that technology at this point is designed to be addictive. That was a really good one.
That was good.
Well, I want to pick one.
Okay, pick one.
Okay. Oh God. Sorry. No, because now that person, now that person's gonna know I had that reaction, so I don't want to do that.
Gosh.
That's
I don't want anyone to think like.
Maybe we try not to have reactions to.
Let's try again.
Okay, ready?
Try again. Here we go.
Okay.
Read it.
This one, oh, sorry. Can you read it?
Yeah. Staying sober and working a program when your partner isn't.
Oh, that one hit this table. That one hit this table.
This topic, it says amends towards toxic exes.
We've got a lot of double. Is this the same person putting two in? Just making sure that we. I think so because they have the same.
But let's talk about this one after because I don't think they're the same.
Amends for toxic exes, staying sober.
Let's go with the first one.
That's the eventual.
Okay, staying sober. And you know what? I also think it's important to say here that like it isn't just it could be like a romantic long-term partner, or it could be someone you're dating, or it could be like a friend.
A friend, yeah.
A friend, right?
Yeah, let's think more globally on those. So.
Yeah, so staying sober, working your program when your partner isn't.
I think
Why are you starting with me? Because then you're going to say...
I was going to say you've never been in a relationship. I never said that.
Too much. It's like,
You did
why are
say
you...
that.
Why are you?
Oh my God.
Yeah, whatever. No.
Let's not fight in front of the kids.
No.
Go ahead.
So, so if you've heard the podcast, it's like he and I, we're on different spectrums with regard to a relationship. It's not that I don't ever want to be in a relationship because I'm in a relationship all the time with people. It's just not in a love relationship. So if we're thinking about all the different types of relationship, when I came into recovery, I needed it for me. I absolutely needed it for me. And so I had to be selfish, not selfish in a way where I was just steamrolling through everything, but really kind of focused on what it is that I needed. And I could not be concerned. I can't be concerned. Like, you know how we say, stay in your hula hoop. So I had friends who were still drinking. Mm-hmm. And I think early on what I had done was I'd vilified it. But the problem was how I showed up with it. I disrespected that relationship. It wasn't them. And so...
Because you were using or...
Well, because I was using.
Okay.
But when I finally realized that I needed to do something different, I mean, nobody else had to be on board with me on it. It's great that I had people who loved and supported me because everybody who knew me knew I needed it. But I think that in this instance, if the person is not on board and the person's not sometimes we have to kind of make tough decisions.
Mhm.
We have to walk away from situations. Now, it's not easy. It's so easy. The words sound easy, but it's not easy. But you have to think, this is for me. This is for my life, for my future. Sometimes it's a life or death thing. And if I have a person who is not willing to see that, then I have to lovingly love them from across the street. I'm going to let you make your decision over there, but I have to make my decision. It's tough. It's not easy, but we got to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that part of what can make a relationship like that, I mean, speaking personally, I mean, this is not the case anymore,
Have
but
you been
like there used to
listening?
be a
This one is in
time.
a different relationship every week.
I'm gonna unplug your mic.
Do it.
So
Do it.
what? So
And I'm going to talk louder. Absolutely.
but when I was in early recovery. There's a lot of things that are coming up for me. So in early recovery, I didn't realize this, but like I loved a dramatic relationship. Like that wasn't consensual.
I got consent when we first started.
Yeah, that's right. So I loved, like in early recovery, I loved a dramatic relationship, although I didn't know that, right? So I think a lot of people in recovery, and I'm speaking both like personally and as someone who works in addiction, is that we love novelty. And I'll speak for myself. I love novelty.
I statements.
Yeah. I love novelty. And I also like things that help me not think about myself. So, for example, if I'm in a dramatic ass relationship, I'm not thinking about my recovery, that's probably what's going on. Anything that's taking me away from like my sense of serenity, anything that's taking me away from my program. Okay, let me tell you. So this is how I know I'm in trouble if I'm dating someone and it's toxic or I'm in a relationship. All the things that I normally do start to slowly drift off. I stop eating well. I stop sleeping well. I stop going to meetings. I stop taking phone calls from my friends because I'm with the guy that I'm seeing. I am scheduling things out of my schedule in order for me to like hook up or hang out with people, right? And this is veering really far away from like the card we pulled, but I think part of what I'm trying to get at here is that I can distill things to very simple parts. If I'm in a relationship, I tend to make things complicated. If I'm in a relationship and I can distill it down to, does this feel good or does this feel bad? Then I can make decisions from there. I think I start to get in trouble when I'm like, well, he has really good intentions and, well, he has a good side and he doesn't drink all the time and he stops stealing money. You know what I mean? Or, he's out of prison. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Like things like that.
No judgment if you.
Yeah, no judgment. You know what I mean? But those are, I've certainly been in like situations like that where I'm like making excuses for someone. Oh, he only cheated on me once.
What about you, Jordan?
I'm a big proponent of managing expectations.
I see.
Right. So like, hey, we're going to go to this party that with normies, whatever. I'm going to leave when I'm ready to leave. I'll let you know. Right. I'm going to give myself permission to leave or whatever that may be. Right. I need my hour to go to this meeting. I need my time to spend with my fellows. Right. And making sure there is a separation of church and state. Right. Of like my sobriety and my relationships. And that goes for anybody. Right. Romantic or not.
No, absolutely. That's fine.
Church and state?
Church and state.
Got it.
No, that's cute.
That's very cute.
Thank you. I try.
All right, let's pick another one.
Okay.
Let Lewis pick.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I actually told myself hand it over
Breathe,
to Lewis.
because we don't want him judging anybody.
Doesn't he give like middle child energy?
I am a middle child.
Go ahead.
Ageism and AA.
Oh.
Lewis?
That is
I usually do, bitch. So,
oh my God.
I'll just speak for myself because, like, next week I'm turning 55.
Oh.
And
Congratulations.
no, not well.
Yeah.
And to some, that's young, but to some, that's ancient. And I really feel like I just have to speak for myself. When I'm right, when I'm in my space, and I'm realistic about what I want, and I'm checking my motives, like, I'm good, but I'm not always good. Meaning, like, if I'm trying to kind of capture, and I'm pointing at this table because I see a lot of my young friends, if I'm trying to capture my youth and trying to keep up with folks and do things that I no longer am interested in, because I've done that, because I've been like, oh God, I'm wasting away. I'm getting older. If you know me, I like going home. I like doing nothing. I like being with myself. That is a big thing. I don't have to do a lot of stuff. So if you see me out doing a lot of stuff, you know I'm trying. Something's wrong, and you should probably check my head. Just check my head. It's not cute. I think that the only other thing that I say, I think that we need to have more conversations about it.
Yeah.
Because I think anything that we bring to the surface and make real, because sometimes people are suffering and not talking about it. And I think that we all deal with it, no matter what age you are. No, it's like it, and it's interesting because like I know younger people who will talk about it. And then if I'm an older person listening to a younger person, oh, seriously? But we got to find a way to kind of allow people the space to talk about it, because it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing because we're alcoholics. We don't like change. And what's a bigger change than getting older, you know?
Yeah, that's you were going to say something? Okay. So my first thought here is I'm thinking about, well, like as a gay man, and I think
you're gay?
Oh my God, Louis.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait.
Are you done?
I have not done one thing that is overly sexual, and we're already past the 5-minute mark.
You got what you wanted. Can we move on?
You know what? We have to celebrate our milestones, okay? We have to celebrate.
What's that? Sure. No, I just didn't hear you. Sorry. So what I wanted to say, I have really bad ADHD and I'm trying to keep track of where my thought was.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gay. Yeah, yes. That's where we left off.
Really gay.
So a couple things. So the first thing is like, I think that there's a couple things. So the first thing is that I think as like LGBT plus identified people, there is such a thing as feeling invisible. So I think that like when you're first coming out, you can, and you're closeted, that you can feel invisible. I think that like as we age, we can feel invisible. I don't think that that's unique to like being LGBT plus. I think that it's just like, there are a lot of kind of cultural things that are embedded in that. Like, for example, one of the things that's with respect to like mental health and mental illness, like one of the things that usually affects a lot of senior folks is depression, and the depression is normally linked to loneliness. And I think that's one of the ways that like recovery can be quite beautiful, is because we're a group of people who would normally not mix, right? And so I don't think it's uncommon for us to like have groups that are like multiracial and like you have all types of ages represented. But I think that's also like unique to us. And I don't think there are very many spaces outside of like recovery where you have that. I see someone yawning in the audience. Let's move on to the next one. Go ahead.
We need to talk about that, because that yawn was not necessarily for you.
Oh my God, it was for the joke.
I know. Okay.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Then it wasn't a good joke.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, let's process. I also was thinking about like, what does ageism? Ageism, like all the isms, can manifest in very many different ways, and I think that, like, I don't know. I think like with anyone, like when we were dealing with a lot of like police brutality, like what do we do with like people for whom we are allies? We like check in with those people. Like it's interesting because there's a person in recovery who's celebrating a birthday today, and I haven't seen him in a really long time, and he's a senior. And I was wondering, like, where is this person?
I don't know.
Anyone? I'm not going to say his name.
So,
go ahead.
Do you have a suggestion as to how you can
address ageism?
Well, no, how you can approach checking in with someone without being offensive.
Like being kind of cringy?
You know, I mean, yeah, without being creepy or offensive. Because, I mean, it's like, I personally would do that. There are people that I'm really close to that I naturally do that to. Mm-hmm. But we have folks who don't find it as easy to connect with people. So how do I connect with someone who I see all the time who may need...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not suggesting like you go up to your like senior friend and you're like, well, how does it feel to be 80?
Well, no, but I'm talking about specifically in the rooms because that's a great, like we have that kind of, that tent under which, and it's easier for me to do that as for someone at a meeting. I'm not going to go up to somebody
I see
at a
what you're
coffee
saying.
shop. Like, what are you doing? That's like,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
see what you're saying. You know what's interesting is like, as I was making that suggestion, I was like, but how do we do that? I'm wondering if anyone has like
Anybody,
like any suggestions.
Come on,
Michael, come up to the mic.
you know you want to talk
So
to the
Michael's
mic.
coming
He's
up
been
to
like,
the mic. Let's give Michael a round of applause. So Jess so speaking, we have a 2-minute limit. Go.
I think that there's a difference between ageism and wisdom.
Let's hear it, yeah.
And I think that a lot of times the way that we idealize a lot of people that have time and age in the room is to look up to them as for their program. I mean, like, not everybody, even in their age, doesn't run a fantastic program. Sometimes it gets stagnant and complacent. But I think that a lot of times I look to our elders for their wisdom and their courage sometimes, because you see how long they've been in the program for. And I look to that as strength and consistency. That's what I'm going to get to for somebody that has a lot of age and time in the program, is consistency. And I always know that they're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
I think to include people as far as age goes is to elect them to service commitments. Because a lot of times if they're sitting in the back and they're not engaging, or if you feel like you want to include somebody, like I just saw that Teresa is the secretary of
dropping names.
of Show of Shows, which is predominantly a young meeting.
I've also witnessed it go terribly wrong.
No, but I mean, but it doesn't. But you know what? But as a cycle of turnover, it changes every 6 months. So
Absolutely,
even
right.
if it's horrible, you know.
Look at you.
But I
love
mean,
it.
so I just saw that Teresa has been the secretary of Show of Shows, which is predominantly usually a young meeting or whatever. But it's great to see people like that in that kind of position, because now they get to select who they want to speak at meetings, and it includes them into like the fold. So that's my little.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Can we also give it
Michael.
up? Michael just celebrated a year.
Oh, Michael just celebrated a year.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think,
oh my God.
I think, thank you for that, Michael. And what you reminded me of, excuse me. So what you reminded me of, so one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that it is not lost on me that the reality I live in now, especially as a gay man, is very different from the reality that like was true 50, 60, 70 years before like I came out. Right. I feel compelled to say that, like, and one of the things that I'm really grateful for are like people who were able to make it out of that alive, right? We know that like suicide rates are highest among LGBT identified people. We know that it was like really difficult for everyone involved. And I feel like the older folks that are part of the LGBT plus community, I mean, ew.
We should be drinking fizzy soda.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is like I think we owe our elders a whole lot more than we give them credit for, and I just want to, yeah.
Great.
Do you have another?
I have a different topic. Yeah.
Jordan's so good.
Thank you. Relapse. What does your sponsor change say?
What? Okay. Relapse. What does your sponsor? And then there's a big space and it says change. What does your sponsor change? So you relapse. Does someone want to explain what they meant?
Is it maybe like
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
Alcoholic addict
Mateo says
Hi, Mateo.
for people.
So
Let's say you have.
I have had relapse and I just changed sponsors.
I have had. Can you come up to the mic, actually?
Yeah, come on.
I was going to repeat everything you were saying. Yeah, welcome. Please have a seat.
You're never normally shy.
Baby.
Come on.
Into the mic.
So in my recovery, I've had relapse. And because I wasn't willing to take the suggestion from my sponsor, I just changed sponsors.
Of course.
And so as a new sponsor, experiencing sponsees who have had relapse, I'm curious what knowledge you guys have had, if that's been a part of your story or from the floor.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
Can you rephrase the question? Mostly because I got like really caught up in
Can I
moving
tell
the
you
mic.
what I think?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when a sponsee has relapsed and they continue to work with that same sponsor,
Yes.
what does a sponsor then do different? Because you might be compelled to think this.
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
there's not a lot you can do that's different, because when I'm sponsoring folks, I'm walking you through the steps the way that someone else walked to me. I also tell my sponsees, I can only work with what you give me. You may not have been ready to give me what was needed to do the real work. And so if you're going to continue with the sponsor, I think first off, I have to make sure that I'm not I'm not like treating you a certain way, that I'm loving you, that I'm letting you have your experience, that I'm not, because if there's anything hanging over you, if I'm not there just to be a support, if I'm only thinking that you might burn me again because I'm thinking about me, then that's a problem. But if you are just there, I got to a place where I'm all, okay, great. You're not wasting my time, because that's what it comes down to. I've had sponsees, they relapse. I'm all, you show up, whatever. Let's get back to work. Let's go right back to where we were. Why are we going to then go back? Because obviously you don't understand the first step. No. But you know, that's just my point. It's like, I don't think it's kind of like they say, advanced AA is what you did that first like 90 days or whatever. So it's like, that's all.
Yeah. I have a different take.
I don't care. No,
yeah, go ahead, have it. Yeah. So I have a different take. Thank you, Mateo. So I don't fire sponsees.
I don't either.
I don't fire sponsees. I think as a sponsor, my only responsibility is to walk someone through the steps. That's it. If someone relapses, that's part of their process. And I think that addiction is insidious. I think it's very difficult. And I don't think that somebody needs me in their life to now judge them by virtue of breaking up with them or whatever because they had a relapse. That's the first thing. I think the other thing is that, I know you weren't saying this, but I don't think that a sponsee is like wasting my time. I also don't think that a sponsee owes me anything. I want you to respect my time, right? Like I need to have boundaries on the ways that I show up. But it is never, I think, my responsibility to like cast judgment or like be punitive in any of those ways. And I think and the reason why that is because I had very many relapses in my recovery. I would get 3 months, I would go out. I did that shit like 5 times. And every single time, the reason why I was able to come back is because I was fortunate in that all the people that I had in my life were not judging me. My sponsor wasn't like, well, go kick rocks, you know? So that's why I felt okay to come back. And that's why we tell people keep coming back. We don't say keep coming back. We don't say keep coming back unless don't, right? We just don't, right? Because it's just a process. And we know that there's so many different things that can contribute to like how difficult things are for people. Like matter of factly, and in my opinion, like we're not all starting from the same place, right? Like a person who doesn't know where they're going to get their food or where they're going to sleep or doesn't have employment is not going to have the same shot as recovery as someone who has all the resources in the world, because there are different challenges that they're up against. And so I think keeping that in mind when I'm working with sponsees, it's like no one has this shit figured out, number one, and number two, like I'm not your higher power, you're not my higher power.
Can I qualify real quick? I just want to say, like, you're right. I don't believe that anybody's wasting my time. When I say that, I mean, we have sponsees that are just not ready when they are unable to show up, when they aren't unable to take the suggestions. Because the other part of that is like, if it's just the one relapse and we continue doing the work, that's fine. But if it happens over and over and over again, then I don't fire sponsees, but I will have the loving conversation. And what I do, I usually ask them, I don't feel like I'm able to be of service to you right now. Is there anything else and I will help them find another sponsor, but we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, because there's a certain point where there's that reverence or that connection that you have with a sponsor is gone. And there's nothing that I can do for you. And again, I have to decide, you know, I'm going to lovingly, because I don't want to be the person that makes you think this is not a safe space.
I think my issue with this is that it assumes that the sponsor has something to do with the recovery. And I don't think that's true.
No. I think that I don't get people sober. I don't keep people sober. I don't make people use. I am a catalyst. I am a guide. But if I am unable to be of service to you in the way that you need, then I need to step aside, my ego aside, and let you find the person, because I have sponsees who have struggled. And I held on tight because I thought it was what I was supposed to do. And then they moved on and they found success.
I guess, again, so my issue is that it assumes that a person's recovery is based on their relationship to their sponsor. And in my opinion, you can't get it wrong. Like, there is no such thing, kind of in the broader sense, there's no such thing as like a good or bad sponsor, right? Because a person is either going to be motivated to like invest in the recovery or they're not. And I think maybe a person in early recovery has like certain vulnerabilities, and maybe it is like the person with more time's responsibility to say like, hey, this is an unhealthy dynamic. Like, we're all humans, and we know that can sometimes happen. I realize this is going to be so controversial.
I don't think it's controversial.
No,
because I think it's...
you're taking much seriously than I thought.
I think it's loving.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, okay, Luis, go.
Luis, alcoholic.
Hi,
Closer to the mic.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel super passionate about this topic just because it gives me a lot of anxiety, and usually that's like it's my signal of passion to say something. And so I think I read the first 69 pages of the big book, and I know that it's in there that says once you sponsor someone and they continue to fail, you have to let them go because you're holding them back from something. And so that's something that one of my sponsors had done. We were working for about 4 years, and he was great. Like, he got me up to a year of sobriety, and then after that year I relapsed and I just kept failing. But I do understand some people better than others, and I feel like that's super important for my recovery, because this one sponsor got me out of a hotel, out of a paranoia, and to a meeting by talking to me over a phone. And I don't think that a lot of people can do that, but that one sponsor did that for me. And so, I just wanted to share that. It's like, I think finding the right person, maybe not the word right is not the word, but finding someone that you really understand is extremely helpful.
Thank you, Luis. Yeah. Leslie. Welcome.
Hi, Leslie.
Let's hear it.
Friends. I'm Leslie. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Leslie.
It's important to note Leslie has been a guest co-host on the podcast.
And Leslie just celebrated 20 years.
I did. Yeah, and I think I've been waiting for a moment to come up here just because I wanted a female voice up here.
Thank you.
Yep. And
closer to your mic, please.
Closer to the mic.
Well, just because I couldn't.
Please direct me. I'm
Sorry,
serious
no,
on that. No. I want that. I want you to hear my fucking voice.
Okay. I know. I realized that after I did it, I was like, I'm such a fucking asshole. She just said, sorry,
Anthony, I love you.
Yeah, I love you more.
Not true. Okay. Everyone, I taught Anthony how to make a fire. I think that's really relevant to this conversation.
No, it's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, because he always starts a fire at the podcast.
Leslie, you were saying?
Yeah, so I think that a couple of things. Like, one, I think that it's really cool that we all get to do this program our own ways, and that there really aren't any, like, there's a lot of things that we have in common with how we work a program, but it's just no two programs are going to look exactly alike. Are you taking notes, Anthony?
No. I'm keeping track of like thoughts. Yeah, sorry.
Love it.
Go ahead.
Love it. And I think also just about how contradictory things can be true, right? So there is truth, I think, to like the right sponsee match. I think that there's truth to that. And I also think that there's truth to no one can keep you sober, and you can get sober regardless, of who the sponsor is. And that's all I have to add.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you. I heard from someone that was lovely. Is that the best sponsor to have is a sponsor that you have when you're ready to do the work.
Yeah.
So, and that changes, So, yeah. Hi. Oh my God. Hi.
Kim is on. Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you.
Leslie and Kim are my
too.
big sisters.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love
He's
it.
a little brat.
They
I
are.
love you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was thinking, I feel like my only job as a sponsor is to like tell the truth, right?
Word.
So like, I'm not going to get, like, I have no idea. I'm not going to get any research. Either they're ready or they're not. And I know this because I've seen some like awesome AA people. And then I see her who's their sponsors and I'm like, oh my God. Like, how is that possible?
Like, girl, how?
Like they're so opposite. You know what I mean? And it's like unbelievable. You know, so I know it's not me. However, I have like let sponsees go. And it's not because I'm like, oh, you're not good enough. But it's just like, okay, if you're gonna smoke weed and still try to like do sober, I didn't do the program like that.
Right.
So my experience doesn't match your experience. But there's tons of people I know who out there who smoke weed and still do AA. So find those people because I'm not of service to you this way.
Right.
So I mean, I have fired people in that way. Not fired. That's such a weird term, but you know, stop working
And
with them
when we
because it's
stop
not the right
working
match.
with an individual, what I've learned in these last couple of years, when I stop working with an individual, that doesn't end our relationship.
No.
I can continue to be a circle of your wisdom. I just don't have to be that person there because, again, you may need someone who has an experience that I don't have, you know, and I need to get over myself and get out of your way.
Yeah.
Yay!
There was something. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear on this. I am not suggesting we're good on time. Go ahead. Just give me a second. So I'm not suggesting that we should be in unhealthy dynamics. What I'm trying, like my takeaway point is that a sponsor is no more responsible for someone's recovery than they are like being able to control the weather. Yeah. And so I love what Kim was saying about like the only responsibility is to tell the truth. I think the other thing that's worth mentioning here is that there's an actual pamphlet in AA that says what a sponsor does. And that's one of the things that I do when I have a new sponsee is I go through that pamphlet. And in that pamphlet, it says, I'm not your therapist. Yeah. I'm not your banker, right? Like it says, you know, I'm not a professional. I'm just someone who's worked through the steps. And I think that like, for me, that's like a really good way of like grounding what the relationship looks like.
Absolutely.
Let's take your comment and then let's pull another thing out of the box.
Tom, alcoholic.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
I just wanted to start off by thanking the table and all the other people who have been
What about us?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And all the others that have been on the podcast. I think it is such a gift for our community. And yeah, and it's also, it gives me and I think others a real piece of fellowship. Like this is living the program. Discussions, being funny, having great topics, and just being natural, sober people. So it's a great gift you guys give, and girls when they're on.
And they them pals.
And what? And
They them pals,
yeah.
We're on air.
We're on air.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was on earlier and listening to some of the old podcasts because I wanted to come to this, and I usually listen to it when I go to the gym.
I like that.
Thank you.
It was nice, yeah. And I was listening to Leo's, and it was like so powerful.
Oh, that was a good one, yeah.
I was like crying in the shower before I came.
You cry in the shower?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Same.
Better than drinking in the shower. I heard somebody did that.
Let Tom.
But about the relapse thing.
No, go ahead.
Relapse. So I've been around for a while and I've seen a lot of relapsing. And I heard a few years ago an old timer say, simply resume. And to me, that was like such a great, simple statement. It just levels the playing field. Just simply resume what worked. So now when I see people at a meeting who have have relapsed, I always go up to them and say, just simply resume what worked. And it takes away the guilt and the shame a lot for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. I wanted to say one more thing before we move on to the next topic. I think Jordan, shut up. This is what I'm realizing is like I'm getting snagged on the word failure. And I think the reason why I'm getting snagged at is like for those of you that know, I'm a psychologist. I work in addiction. And so sometimes I find that like what I do professionally sometimes conflicts with what I do in 12-step. And the reason why I say that is because in my practice in addiction and like a different setting other than this, that I don't use the word failure in any of my sessions. I don't think of failure in like a life context because it's loaded with judgment. And in my opinion, there's no such thing as failure, but we are in process. And so I think that's where I get snagged is that I know in 12-step spaces and I'm in 12-step and I believe in 12-step, there is a way that sometimes like the language that's used, like, for example, the ownership of like character defects, right? So a lot of people might come into the program and they already have like low self-esteem. They already take all the criticism. They already do all of that work. And so sometimes like that becomes like one of the things that we have to like dismantle. And I think the same thing applies to like ideas of failure. I think that's why it can be very difficult for people who relapse or return to use to come back into the rooms because there's like a sense of shame. So I just wanted to kind of like neutralize the idea of failure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
go ahead. All right. So new topic, Living Sober Conference and what it means to the recovery community.
Wait, so we're commenting on this?
Yes. Okay. Go for it.
Well, anyone, does anyone want to share who put that in and maybe like start the conversation for us since we've been starting it? Ooh, no, too much. Okay. So
Jordan, why don't you start?
Well, he hasn't been around long enough.
Anywho, sure, I'll start. Great, thank you.
Go ahead.
I think it's a great opportunity for folks, right? So last year was my first Living Sober conference. Mm-hmm. I've been in recovery for a short amount of time, and I think it was just nice to know that like recovery is bigger than the city I live in. It's nice to know that I can go somewhere and meet other folks, right? And I was able to meet other folks who don't live in the city who I can then go and travel. Like I went to Houston and I went to a meeting because I met somebody here at Living Sober last year and it kept connections and all that jazz, right? Like, so I think the opportunity just to connect in a different format rather than the same meetings at the same times with the same people gets a little stale for me, right? So to be in this kind of context and to have like this having meetings back to back can be a lot, but I think it's good. It mixes it up for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry for what I said. The reason why I said you didn't have enough time around is because I thought this was about like how long Western Roundup Living Sober has been.
Well, I think that's part of it.
Yeah. Well, because that's what I thought the question was about. Like, well, how long it's been around.
Stop
Kim,
apologizing.
who is our? Well, no, I just wanted people to know I'm not an asshole.
You're an asshole.
So, Kim,
you can't control what people think about you.
Yeah. It's already happened.
So Kim is our local historian when it comes to...
No, I'm not.
I know,
anyway,
I'm
I was just going to say, like,
yes, she is.
You know, it's a big thing that we still have this conference because it's the first one ever for queer people in AA ever in history, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's amazing because people went, people went to like not a regular, but a normie, larger international conference. And they didn't feel safe to talk in those spaces about queer things. You know what I mean? They didn't feel, and so it was needed. And so a group of people just went and created it right here in San Francisco. And I think it's like, we owe it to all those generations who came before to keep it alive for the next generation. You know what I mean? Like we have to. And I know everybody from the beginning, the most important thing that has happened at these conferences, in my opinion, just from looking, I don't know, but is like newcomers. Newcomers make this shit happen every fucking year, right? Yeah. And you know what? By the end of the year, they're sober. They have a year of sobriety and they're signing up for another year, you know? And that's a miracle because I don't know many other commitments that do that. So I just think it's like we're so lucky that we have this conference here, and like we owe it to the people that came before us to keep it up so that it's here for the future.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Thank you. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary.
Ooh.
Sit close to the mic.
Up close and personal.
I love it.
I'm Mary. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Mary.
I came to my first conference in 1990.
Wow.
I had a year. I came for a few years. And we all know the story. There were so many people.
No, say more about that.
Yeah.
Well, because people at home might not know.
Yeah. So there were 5,000 people at Bill Graham Auditorium. At the end, when everybody circled up to say Serenity Prayer, I was bawling. Just bawling, because for a lot of us, we feel so isolated. And what this conference gives me is a sense of belonging. So I came for quite a few years, and then I got married, moved to the suburbs, raised a kid, got divorced, moved back about 7 years ago, 8 years ago now maybe, and threw myself into service. And this place gave me a place to show up and be seen and find out who I am again and just get my feet under me. And now, I mean, I just love it. I love it. I love the sense of belonging. I love watching, like Kim said, all the new people come in and find a place to go and a place to contribute. And so a lot of what happens here, in my opinion, is about service and how we find a way to contribute.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, please. Just while you're coming up to the mic, just in case people didn't hear, I just want to kind of highlight what Mary was saying, that this was the first LGBT conference in the country. There were thousands and thousands of people there. And it was this conference that actually set the tone for all the other LGBT conferences that exist in the country, period. Just wanted to make sure, like, I put a circle around that, Mary, because it's so important. Yeah. And we have a new person at the mic.
Hi, my name's Bert. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Bert.
Hi, Burden.
Thank you, Mary. 1987, Bill Graham Auditorium, 5,000 people. 5,000 people. You know, brand new in sobriety. Tell me that's not going to make a difference to someone newly sober, looking to find their way, you know, and that I won't say I was isolating, but I had my home group, and that's the only place I went to meetings. And it was a smaller group, and here you are with 5,000 people. We had 3 dances. We had
3 dances.
We had a country and western. We had a swing ballroom dance and also a disco dance.
Word, yeah.
Yep. All right. So, you know, so this last international in Vancouver, we are still being treated as an outside issue. That's exactly how they put it.
At the international conference.
Yes. You know, an organization, GAL, they had made sure we had room at the international conference. And thank God for them. You know, but even still, you know, all these years later, and with much wider acceptance, well, in certain areas, you know, try going to Wichita or someplace like that.
Yeah.
And trying, you know, go to a gay and lesbian meeting. You know, they're there, but it's like, you know, little mice hiding in a church basement. You know, we have to realize sometimes I'm from the LA area and very happy.
We're not going to be able to hear you if you don't.
I'm from the LA area. I'm very happy to have so many choices. Here in San Francisco, we have so many choices. I have a sponsee who lives in southern, you know, Illinois. His one meeting is 40 miles away, and it's a straight one. He has absolutely no access to a GLPT meeting, you know. So let's just be grateful that we can be here right now, right here, right now.
Thank you.
That's a lovely way to.
Thank you so much for that. That was so beautifully said, both you and Mary. There's this beautiful soul in the rooms. Her name is Sage, and y'all know Sage over at that table. Sage, I love Sage. And she was saying, you know, like a lot of us were at the BIPOC meeting and there was like all this stuff that was happening in the country. And regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, we can all agree that things feel like a little uneasy. And what she said was, and this is why we need our elders, she said, to the group, very matter-of-factly, like, we've been here before. And what our community has done is that it's always come together, right? It was there for civil rights. It'll be there like tomorrow. I'm saying that because I think one of the things that I try not to forget, to your point, is that I live in San Francisco, right? There are over 600 meetings here, and there are a lot of LGBT meetings here. But there's a whole host of people in the rest of the country that don't have that access. And I think, to your point of gratitude, I think that's like such a nice note to land on. Shall we?
Yeah.
So we're going to land the plane. Wow, we've had all the feelings. We've laughed. We felt somber. Exactly. We felt touched. There was some drama and
we apologize.
There was like some controversy.
We know who brought it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course I have my script.
Yeah. You know what? But like, to be fair, I used the script for the last part too.
Yes. So in case you haven't been, I want you to know that the Castro Country Club is a safe and sober community center for all people and a refuge for the LGBTQ recovery community.
We provide programs and services that help change lives by supporting personal growth.
Yes, and our vision is to reduce the suffering of addiction by connecting people to community opportunity and support.
You can find more information, including all the ways to contact us, at www.castrocountryclub.org/podcast.
Yes, and new episodes drop every Monday when Brandon's doing his job. We love you, Brandon.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Have a great conference.
Thank you.